Hello everyone! In this week's video, I'm going to be sharing the symbolic importance of fall season as it relates to emotions and your mind-body connection. My name is Debbie, and I'm a licensed acupuncturist based in Los Angeles, California. Here on this channel, I'll be sharing the wisdom and learnings I've accumulated from my time in Chinese medicine school and professional experience treating in the clinic. I'll be sharing wellness and nutrition tips to help you live gracefully with each seasonal shift. In the Northern Hemisphere, and where I'm based in California, there are subtle shifts of fall starting to present. A lot of people may make fun of California and say that we don't have seasons, but I really disagree with that. I'm starting to see that the days are getting a little bit chillier, especially the mornings. The days are getting a little bit shorter, and pretty soon the leaves are going to be starting to turn yellow too and fall. By winter, there will be no leaves in a lot of the trees, and to me, that's a sign of winter. The other thing is that you may notice that your pets are starting to develop a winter coat as well. My cat especially is starting to get a little bit of a thicker coat as he gets ready for the winter time. Also, we may be spotting in the sky some birds migrating in their V formation to other parts of the world. We are human, but we also have that animal instinct to prepare for winter as well. As it gets cooler, we're going to be adding different layers onto our body with sweaters and coats. We're going to be preparing our homes for fall too. So checking the heater to make sure it works well. Also checking the rain gutters to make sure that everything is unclogged in preparations for the rain. But beyond the physical and structural changes, there are also a lot of internal changes that might be going on too with your emotions and your mind-body connection to fall. In Chinese medicine, the organ associated with the fall season is the lung, and that actually makes a lot of sense when you think about it. It's during the fall season when your lungs are most sensitive to illness. For asthma patients, they actually get a lot of asthma attacks when summer goes into fall because the weather is cooler and drier, so they have to be very careful and have their inhalers ready in preparation for that. The common cold often starts with a cough, which is associated with the lungs. And a lot of senior citizens have to be a little bit more careful because that's when respiratory illnesses start to attack them. In the form of bronchitis or pneumonia, that's when you have to be the most careful. Now that we've covered the organ that is associated with fall, I wanted to take it a step further and talk about the emotion that is associated with fall and the lungs. There is both a positive and a negative emotion associated with the lungs, and that represents yin and yang, the harmony, the balance of life. First, I wanted to talk about the negative emotion. The negative emotion of the lung is grief and sadness. Now that fall is underway and we don't have the distractions of summer with parties and outings and vacations, you're starting to settle into a routine. Now, with routine and the days getting shorter and anyone being alone with their thoughts, you start to think about old wounds that you may have suppressed for the past however long it's been. This is a time when old wounds start to surface, when you're back into your routine and you're back into your daily life. This is a time to really think about what is it that you haven't resolved in relation to grief and sadness that perhaps you need to face and pay attention to. A lot of times, if we don't face it, it'll manifest into physical illness. A lot of times with what I talked about a little bit before, with respiratory issues, asthma, and also cough too. The negative emotion of the lung and fall season is grief and sadness, but the positive emotion is actually courage. Courage is the antidote to grief and sadness. Now, courage can come in many forms, small or big. At the very minimum, it may be the courage to acknowledge the grief and sadness in your life and just understand that it's something that you may have to deal with now or later on in the future when you're ready. At the maximum, it can be addressing those moments of grief and sadness and really clearing it from your mind and your body and moving on from it so you gain your own peace of mind. But there can be small courageous acts that you take steps towards in the fall. It can be asking for that long overdue raise in your life. It can also be talking through a problem with a friend and having the courage to face that grief or sadness that you know is in your consciousness. Or it could be as big as dreaming about your ideal life and job and going after it. To me, emotional health is equally important to physical health. As you can see from a Chinese medicine perspective, everything is so connected. Everything is related. Everything balances each other out. One can affect the other and bring everything out of balance. That's why I encourage you to take time during this season to really reflect and see what you can do to make space for emotional well-being and create more balance in your life. If you are being overwhelmed by grief or sadness, make time to figure it out so you can really enjoy the benefits of fall and the positive emotion of courage. I hope this video is helpful. As you know, it's not just about food. It's about balance in all aspects of your life. Emotionally, physically, everything. It's all connected. I would love to hear what it is that you want to gain the courage to accomplish down below in the comments. Because sometimes seeing it and having it written down makes it a lot more real. As always, feel free to comment, share, like, everything. I would love to see you in the next video. And as always, wishing you vitality and excellent health.